I trust that you are well, and I also hope that you had a great day so far. All right, so for today, we will be we're doing grade 4 English, or we're doing the grade 4 English lesson on irregular plural nouns, right? So we're doing the grade 4 English lesson on irregular plural nouns. And before we start with irregular plural nouns, we are going to um, log into aplusstudents.ca with your username as well as with your password. And then we are going to select the subject of language arts. And then we choose grade 4. All right, so once we have chosen the subject of language arts, grade 4, then we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of irregular plural nouns. So irregular plural nouns, right? All right, and then with irregular plural nouns, we are going to be focusing on the lessons of is the noun singular or plural, and how we can form and use irregular plurals, right? So, firstly, is the noun singular or is the noun plural? And can we form and use, or we should form and use irregular plurals? So, we're going to go to the first lesson that says, is the noun singular or plural? All right, so some plurals, right, are irregular. So some plurals, remember plural means if we're referring to more than one person, right, then it is plural. Singular refers to only one person, animal, place, or thing, right? But plural means that we are referring to more than one person, place, thing, animal, or idea, right? So, some plurals are irregular, right? They don't follow rules. So, you must remember each one, right? So, if they don't follow rules, then it means that when we talk about the rules, then we say, for example, let's say with regular plural nouns, right? Then we can say one boy, that is singular, and maybe plurals is boys, right? Where we just added an S, right? One church, right? That ends in a CH. And then the rule is that we need to add ES. So, for example, many churches. So that is for example, the rules that we need to follow. But when it comes to irregular plurals, right, then we don't follow rules at all, right? You're just going to have to remember each one. You're going to have to remember what the singular word is, and then you're going to have to remember what the plural form or the plural word is of that specific word also, right? So, for example, one child, right? So, one child, but plural form for many, right? We can say one child, but many children. So, one child, two or more children, right? So, children. One mouse, MOUS, but two or more mice. So, we don't say mouses, we say mice. One woman, WOMAN. It's like saying woman, right? So one woman, but many or two or more women, right? It's like saying one man and men, right? So in this case, woman with the A and women with an E um that shows plural. Or we can have one man, seeing that we are now especially trying to show woman and women. So we can also say one man, and then we have more than one men. And that is the same like with woman. It's like we're just adding the WO in front of that word. Man and men, right? Child and children. It's almost like the word changes, right? Or we add more words to it when it comes to children. And with mouse and mice, it's like the word changes, right? Woman and women, only one letter changes, and the same with man and men, only one letter changes. So now they say, is the noun in bold singular or plural? Singular or plural? The children had a wonderful time at the carnival. So children, right? Children is plural. So children is plural. So we can say children is plural, right? And the singular form of children is child, right? As the example that we made over there. So children being plural, and the singular form of children is child, right? We need to say, is the noun in bold either singular or is it plural? So men, did men examine the fossil at the museum? So men, right? Men is plural, shows more than one man. So men is plural. And the singular form of the word men is man, right? So men is plural, and the singular form of men is man. Then we need to say if the word in bold is either singular or plural. The oxen roamed free when the work was finished. Oxen roamed free when the work was finished. So oxen, right? The word oxen is plural, right? So it is plural because we have one ox and we have more than one oxen, right? So which means that the singular form of the word oxen is ox, right? So ox is singular and oxen is plural. So this word oxen is plural and the singular form of that is ox, right? So that is basically when it comes to irregular plurals, right? All right, let's quickly go over here. So here are but a few examples of irregular plurals, right? So here we have a few examples of irregular plurals. The first picture, right, we have one man, which is singular, and we have more than one man, which is men, right? So we don't say one man and two mans. We don't say mans. It's one man, more than one men, men, right? So one man, more than one men. The same with the next one. One woman, more than one women with an en. Then we have one person, right? So we're referring to one person, but plural form. We don't say persons, we say people, right? So one person, but four people, right? Tooth, one tooth. I need to extract my tooth, which is one tooth. But if we make mention of more than one, then we say teeth, right? Teeth. Singular is one child, right? So one child. But if we are talking about more than one child, then we say children, right? So one child, but more than one children. Then we have one mouse, right? That's eating the cheese. So one mouse. But now, if we are referring to more than one mouse, and then we say mice, right? More than one mouse is mice. Then we have an ox is one, it's singular, an ox, right? But if we are making mention of more than one ox, then we say oxen. So one ox, more than one, which is plural, oxen. Then we have foot, right? So one foot. And we have 2 feet, right? So one foot and we have 2 feet. So it's almost like the tooth and teeth. So that is kind of similar. And then we have a goose, one goose, but we have more than one geese, right? So as you can see, there is no rules that we can follow, right? Because the word sometimes changes, right? So then there's no rules that we can follow. You're just gonna have to know the irregular plural form, right, of that noun. All right, and then we have another example over here, right? The same with tooth, teeth, man, men, child, children, foot, feet, woman, women, mouse, mice, ox, oxen, goose, and geese. So that is basically the same words that were used. And singular refers to one, either one person, place, animal, thing, idea. And plural refers to more than one, either animal, person, place, thing, or idea. All right, so now we're going on to do our test. We need to say if the noun in bold is either singular or if it is plural, right? My aunt said that the gentleman helped her. The gentleman, right? So is that singular or plural? We need to say if the word gentleman is singular or if it's plural. All right, so now gentleman, right? So gentleman, even if we look at the word, if we look at the word man, which is man, man refers to one man, right? So we will then say gentleman is singular. Because once the word man changes to men, then it becomes plural form, which is gentleman. So we can say gentleman is singular, refers to one. Eric's tooth hurts when he bites into the candy apple. Tooth, is it singular or is it plural? Tooth, singular or plural? All right, so if we make mention of, if we need to say if it's a singular or plural, for example, tooth, then tooth, we are referring to one tooth, right? Because it's one tooth, which is singular tooth, and for plural, we have teeth. So tooth is singular. The children had a wonderful time at the carnival. Children. So we need to say the children is either singular or if it is plural. So children is plural, right? It refers to more than one child, and child being the singular form. So children is plural and child is singular. Where did the woman buy the material for the dress? Woman. It's like woman, right? So this woman means singular, right? And the plural form is women with an E. All right. Feet. Many animals have claws on their feet. We need to say if the word feet is either singular or if it is plural, right? So feet. So feet is plural, right? It refers to either 2 feet, more than 2 feet, right? And the singular form of feet is foot. So feet is plural. All right. So that is okay. Let's do one more. So the man wanted the expensive pants. The man wanted the expensive pants. So man singular or is man plural? Man. All right, so man is singular, right? And the plural form of man is men. So men is our plural form, right? And that is the noun which is singular or which is plural. So we had to say whether it is singular or we had to say whether it is plural. So now we're going on to forming and using irregular plurals. Form and use irregular plurals, right? And some of the plurals are irregular, right? And when they are irregular, they don't follow rules. So the irregular plurals, they don't follow rules. So you're just going to have to remember each one. So some plural forms are the same as the singular forms, right? So as much as it changes or some changes, we have some plurals that basically stays the same as the singular form. For example, we have one deer and we have many deer. So you don't say deers, right? So one deer, more than one deer. So deer plural as well as singular. One sheep and we have many sheep also, right? We don't say sheeps. And then one fish and many fish. right? So fish and fish also say the same. One shows plural and one shows singular, right? And then some plural forms, they change the spelling, right? They change the spelling. For example, one child, which is singular, and the plural form of child is children. It's more than one child, so it's children. Then we have mouse, one mouse, more than one mice. One mouse, more than one mice. One woman, more than one women, right? So there, it's either a few letters changed, or it's like the word changed completely, which is the spelling, right? So that is some of the plurals that even change the spelling of the words. And then we have some plurals where it just says the same. All right. Now we're going to do our example activities. Moose, right? So moose. Moose live in cold northern climates, right? It says we need to complete the sentence with the correct plural. So one moose. So moose is going to be that word that stays the same, right? So one moose, and then we have moose, right? One moose, many moose live in the cold northern climates. So one moose as well as many moose. And this is the spelling that does not change. It's the same as the singular form. So the noun moose as an irregular plural form, which is moose. So we don't say mooses, right? We say moose, where the plural form are the same as the singular form. The child ran in the park after dad gave permission. Child, right? We need to find the plural of child. And the plural form of child is children. So children, that is the plural form, and the singular form is child. One child, two or more children. We need to complete the sentence with the correct plurals, right? Most children have 20 baby tooth, but my little brother has 19. So we need to change that word tooth into a plural form. And if we change that word into the plural form, then we can say it is one tooth, but more than one teeth. Teeth. So one tooth, but more than one teeth, right? All right. So these are but a few irregular plurals, right? Or regular plural nouns. It is basically where You can either find the word changing, or we add a few letters to it, or we have some plural forms that are the same as the singular form. For example, fish and fish, right? Then we have deer and deer, sheep and sheep. These are all the same, right? So even if you make mention of more than one in front of them, right, the word stays the same. One deer, many deers, one sheep, many sheep, one fish, more than one fish, right? And then, of course, we said some plurals forms that change the spelling. Like, for example, one child and many children, one mouse, many mice. As you can see, the whole word, it's almost like the word changes. One woman, many women. All right, I'm going to do a test. We need to complete the sentence with the correct plural. The sheep are gazing in the field. So is it sheep or sheeps? We need to choose the correct one, either sheep or sheeps. I remember we also said we have certain words that says the same, sheep being one of them. All right. So with sheep, right, that is the word that is the same form as its singular. So we're gonna say the sheep. One sheep, many sheep are grazing in that field. The women were in complete control of the ship. Woman. We need to select the correct plural, right? So is it still woman, which is option one, or women, which is option two, right? So if we complete the sentence with the correct plurals, we can say we women. One woman, women. Where in the wild do ox live? Ox. We need to find the correct plural form of the word ox or of ox. So we have one ox, but we have more than one, which is the plural form, which is oxen. One ox, many oxen. We need to try to balance your foot on the edge of the beam. So foot, we need to find the plural of foot. Is it foot or is it feet? Foot or feet. So try to balance your foot on the edge of the beam. So if we want to write our correct plural, then we can say feet. All right. And then according to the man. So we need to change the word man. The alligator was 10 feet long. So man. What is the plural form of man? Is it man or is it the second option, which is men? Man or men. We need to choose the correct plural of the word man. So, the plural form of man is men. Men. All right. And then complete the sentence with the correct plural. Wife materials. What materials do builders use to make roof for houses? Roof for houses. So is it roof or roofs? We need to choose the correct plural of the word roof. All right, so one roof, many roofs. So one roof, many roofs, right? And then most children have 20 baby tooth, but my little has 19. My little brother has 19. So tooth, do we say many tooth or do we say 19 teeth? So which means that the plural form of the word tooth is teeth, right? There we have it. All right, so far that is our lessons on is the noun singular or plural, and where we have to form and use irregular plurals, right? So now we're going on to our activities. Just want to try and make this a bit bigger. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to complete the sentences with the, okay, let's first do this one because this one is matching, sorry. So irregular plural nouns, right? The first one was done for us. So on the left hand side, they have the singular forms, right? And then on the right hand side, we have the regular plural ones, the plural nouns, right? So you're gonna have to match the word, which is the singular word, with the plural form or the plural word. For example, man, right? One man, and we said more than one men, right? And there, the first one was basically done for us by, for example, man and men. All right, now we're going on to the next one. Children or child. One child, and then we have many children. So one child, many children. One deer, and then we have many deers. Leaf, one leaf, and then we have more than one leaves, and then one wolf, and then wolves. Mouse, and then we have mice. Fish and fish, and then we have tooth and teeth, right? So these are our singular forms on the one side and our irregular past tense forms on the right hand side. All right, we're not going to do the activity. All right, so now using irregular plural nouns, right? Using irregular plural nouns, it says that we need to complete the sentences with the plural form of the noun in the brackets, right? So the word in the bracket is given to us already. We just need to change that word to a plural form. So the first one was done for us. Brush your tooth before going to bed. So which means that we don't say tooth, we say brush your teeth, right? Before going to bed. Then we have the second one. It appears there are so mouse. We need to change that word mouse. So one mouse, many mice. Mice, sorry. Right? Mice. These men, these men are walking to the bus. So we're going to say these men. Canadian goose fly south for winter. So goose, and then we say geese. This cart is pulled by ox. So oxen, right? Oxen. And then we have put the books on the shelf. Put the book on the shelves. And then we say shelf. So on shelf, oopsie. And then we have shelves. And then we have roll the die. Roll the die, it's your turn. Dice. And then all the dirty knives. Peel a few more potatoes. And the dog had their puppies. Right? So these are irregular plural nouns. All right. Last one. All right. So we're not going to do the last one, right? Where we need to choose or use the irregular plural nouns, right? Where we're going to show the plural nouns. The children ran to the park. So we're going to say children. Ooh, children. Your foot have grown. You need new boots. Your feet. Many person will attend the show. We say many people. Books go on the shelves. And then we are having tuna casseroles today. So tuna stays tuna, right? The farmer's cow had two calves. And then we discussed the success criterions together. And then we have the choir had many men in it. And then these trees lose their leaves in the fall, and I could hear the wolves howling last night. Right? So now this is, even if we look at, for example, the words, right? And the plural forms. That is why they say there is no rule when it comes to doing irregular, for example, plural nouns or plural verbs, depending, right? So there is no rule that we can give you that says you need to follow something in order to for the words to be like, let's say repetition or the same, right? So the for example, child, if I make of the very first example, child. Child refers to one child, right? And if we write the plural form, right, then it is one child but many children, right? Many children. Then we have foot. You have one foot, maybe my left foot, right foot, depending, right? So one foot. And then now one foot but many feet, or let's say 2 feet. So we have one foot and we have 2 feet. And as you can see, the letters even change in the middle of that two words, of that word, sorry. Then here, people, right? So which means that we refer to one person, right? And if we want to refer to or make mention of more than one person, and then we can say people. And then let me go again. Then we have shelf, right? I built a shelf in my study, for example. But now books go on the shelves, right? Shelves. And there is where we drop the F and we added VES. We're having tuna casseroles tonight, right? Tuna and tuna is the same. And then we have the farmer's cows had two calves. And then we discuss the success criterion. So these are the criterion or criterions, right? Of maybe the position or the criterions of working with a partner and so on. And then we have one man, more than one men. And then trees lose their leaves in the fall, and I could hear the wolves. That is wolves. All right. So wolves. So this is how we basically change or use regular plural or irregular plural nouns. All right, so now that is the end of our lesson on irregular plurals, and we said we went over the lessons of is the noun singular or plural, and we need to form and use irregular plurals. So now we've reached the end of our lesson. I really hope that you will say the lesson was informative. Till next time. Goodbye.